All right, peace, family. If you're here with me today, that means you are surviving the coronavirus. That is not what this video is going to be about today. I think we've talked about the coronavirus and things that are stemming from the coronavirus since this epidemic, pandemic has been going. Like, we've been talking about that like every day since this shit has started. So we're going to take a break from that. Let's change the pace up a little bit. When you're talking about the coronavirus and all of the lives that it has devastated, even though it is a weak ass virus, it can get depressing. But I am going to briefly state some things about the coronavirus as it relates to my topic of discussion. And, that's pretty much it, man. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are well. Hope your family, friends, whoever you are close to are well and, surviving and, persevering through, these difficult times that, we're facing here in this country and around the world. So before I get into my topic of discussion, let me say this. Remember to hit that bell so that you can be notified of any new videos that I put up. And remember to subscribe if you are new to this channel, if you are new to this content as far as what I am delivering, and if you are new to me as far as, seeing me for the first time on YouTube or my not YouTube page, but yeah, my YouTube page as well as my Facebook page, and I also have an Instagram page. That is something that I'm working on now, trying to learn how to navigate through Instagram, but I am going to be having some information on there as well. But if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so that you can get any new content that I am putting out. And another thing that I wanted to mention, you guys see me wearing these glasses. These are not prescription glasses, even though I do wear glasses. These are blue blocker glasses. If you do not have a pair of these, which they have different styles, they're very cheap. I got 2 pair for about like $20. They're good for blocking the blue light that is emitted from cell phones, computers, etc., etc. So, if you can get a chance to pick up these right here, you want to make sure that you pick them up so that the harmful radiation that is emitted from these phones do not damage the retina of your eyes, do not damage the cells that are in your eyes. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of discussion. And that topic of discussion for today is going to be hemp hearts. Now, for those of you that follow me on Facebook, you're friends with me on Facebook, and you've seen some of the things that I have posted, whether that was written posts or videos that I posted. I think the last thing that I posted was a discussion on hemp hearts, and I think I also showed you guys a photograph of what they look like. So that's what this topic is going to be about today. We're going to go into more detail as far as what hemp hearts do for the human body. So I'm going to try to, flow through this, kind of quick. I don't want this to be a long drawn out video because, some of us have a short attention span. I want you guys to get the information. Usually when I do a video like this, especially when I'm having to, go back and forth from pulling things out of my head from reading, as well as reading from my notes and whatnot, it can seem kind of boring versus, when I'm just able to flow off the top of the head because, I can be a little more animated, when it's concerning my delivery, depending on what the topic is. But nonetheless, the information that I have to give to you guys is good. And one other thing I want to stress before I get into my topic of discussion, I did not list any of the sources as far as where I got my information from. And the reason why that is because a lot of this stuff is it can be, attained very easily. You could go to, any search engine. You can go to Google, put in hemp hearts, the benefits, the pros and the cons as far as, this grain is concerned, and a whole list of things are going to come up. So I did not give you guys any sources because, like I said, the information as far as hemp hearts is not something that is a big secret. It is well known as far as what this grain has done and is doing for the human body, for those of us who are able to get this particular grain and ingest it, and it does wonderful things for the body. So that is the reason why I did not list any sources as it pertains to what I'm going to discuss today. And on another note, another reason why I did not list any sources is because depending on where you go, some of the information may be slightly different. Meaning when you get into the profile of hemp hearts, as far as, you know, the percentage of carbohydrates, the percentage of protein that is in hemp hearts, the percentages may be slightly off, but 9 times out of 10, the majority of the information that you're going to find is going to be similar, if not identical, to, you know, the information that I'm going to give, or anyone else who chooses to do a discussion on, you know, the profile of hemp hearts and all of the good things that hemp hearts consist of. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the topic of discussion. So what we're going to be dealing with, as far as the topics that I'm going to be dealing with as far as hemp hearts are concerned, is going to be, one, you're going to know what it is. And 2, we're going to deal with the energy as far as how that is relating to hemp hearts in the human body. 3, we're going to get into appetite and weight. The next one is going to be digestion, cellular health, and we're going to get into oxygen, and then we're going to get into additional information and a couple of other things that, you know, I'm going to discuss, and that will pretty much conclude my discussion on this particular topic or particular food that I think you guys need to, you know, make a staple, or, you know, put into your diet, so to speak. And I really don't like using the term diet because, you know, within the word diet, you have the word die, and that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to live. We're trying to live a life that is how could I say it? A life that is, you know, a top-notch life, a life that is full of happiness and, you know, vigor. You're strong, you're healthy, you're able to do all of the things that you want to do, no matter whether if you're a kid, teenager, young adult, middle-aged adult, or, you know, you're what we would consider to be an elder. You want to have a high quality of life. So that's what we represent here on this channel. And this is the philosophy that I am trying to put out. Well, let's not say trying to put out. That's the philosophy that we're going to live by. That is the standard of what this channel represents. And that is life. And we want to live life in a big way. So now, enough of that information. Let's go ahead and get into the topic. Hemp hearts. Hemp heart is a grain. It is also known as a complete protein. It is filled with fats. And what I mean by fats, it is filled with the good fats that our bodies need. We call those essential fats. And that consists of omega-3s, omega-6, and omega-9s. It is also a good source of soluble and insoluble fiber. It also consists of vitamins and minerals. Those vitamins consist of vitamin A, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin D, vitamin E. The minerals consist of calcium and iron. And the profile of hemp hearts includes as protein 25%, fatty acids 35%, carbohydrates 27%, and that is primarily fiber. And we're going to touch base on that, or give a little bit of information on fiber as it relates to how it benefits the digestive system whenever you eat hemp hearts. And one other thing that I want to include within this discussion. Now, since we are dealing with this pandemic as far as the coronavirus is concerned, you have the mainstream news is now talking about things that you can do to stay healthy, things that you can incorporate that will help you to either fight this particular virus off or keep you healthy long enough to where you can get some type of medical attention. And so they're pushing now, telling people to get their supplementation up or eat foods that are high in vitamins and minerals. And as far as Hemp Hearts are concerned, it is high in all of that. It is a complete food. And as I get into my discussion as far as what I mean by a complete food, the information that I'm going to give you, once you look at all of this information or you do research on it, then you will understand why I am saying and why many others have said that this is a complete food. So let's continue. Now we're going to get into energy. That is what the body wants. That is what the body needs. Whenever you eat your food is converted into different types of sugars. And that's what your body uses to produce energy. So Hemp Hearts is a good source of providing energy to the body. And it does this by, a combination of calories, complex carbohydrates, and proteins, which provide long-lasting energy. It increases energy without stimulants such as caffeine and sugar. It provides more energy with less fillers like sugar and saturated fat than common energy bars, which is a good thing because you have a lot of energy bars, man. You have some good ones out on the market, and then you have some that are just straight up garbage and you don't even need to be eating them. But with Hemp Hearts, it is a natural energy source to the point where you have a lot of things that are high in sugar, has a high content of sugar to the point where when you ingest those things, it'll give you that burst of energy, but then it's like you crash like hours later. You won't get that effect with Hemp Hearts. It is a natural source of providing the body with good, sustaining energy. So this is another reason why you need to pick up this particular grain and incorporate that into, your regimen as far as healthy foods are concerned. Now, it also deals with appetite and weight. The amount of protein in Hemp Hearts is effective in curbing hunger between meals. The reasons for the curb is consistent with what is in Hemp Hearts, which would be the essential nutrients such as protein, essential fatty acids, fiber, vitamins, and minerals without adding excess calories, starches, and sugars to your system, which is a plus. Getting into digestive health, it is also good for the digestion. And the reason why that is because it is high in fiber. It maintains a healthy digestive system and keeps bowel movements regular. Soluble fiber works in the intestines to lower levels of LDL cholesterol, which we all know that is bad cholesterol. Now, if you don't know what soluble means, soluble simply means that it is an item or an ingredient that easily dissolves in water or liquids. Insoluble fiber has been linked to lower risk of cardiovascular disease, which is another plus as far as Hemp Hearts are concerned, as well as diabetes. It adds bulk to waste in the digestive system. This helps to keep you regular, and it also prevents constipation. So this is another reason why you want to incorporate this into your diet. And as far as adding bulk to your stool, Hemp Hearts does that, but fruits and vegetables do that as well. And that's why if you are a heavy meat eater, you want to incorporate more of these types of foods into your diet so that one, your system doesn't get clogged up, it doesn't get backed up, and two, whenever you're having a bowel movement, by it adding bulk to your stool, it is able to pass through the system with ease. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that you're drinking enough H2O so that your anal canal can be lubricated so that you don't have problems getting, all of the things that the body does not need out of the body. So going into cellular health, and this is where we're going to touch just briefly on how Hemp Hearts is good for fighting the coronavirus. So dealing with cellular health, it promotes cellular recovery and development. It promotes healthy inflammatory processes and cell membrane activity. Failure of these activities can lead to numerous chronic diseases, including cardiovascular diseases, certain cancers, neurodegenerative disorders, hypersensitivities, and autoimmune conditions. And like I've told you guys before in a couple other videos that I've done, I have what is known as an autoimmune disease. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis about 11 years ago. And like I've told you guys, I'm not really bothered by a lot of the things that, most people that I've talked to and, testimonials or just information that they've given on how they've had to deal with this particular illness. I don't wake up in the morning with stiff joints. I'm not stiff. I'm very mobile. I stretch at least 3 times a week. I still lift heavy weights. I still practice my martial arts, my boxing, pretty much everything that I want to do as far as physical activities are concerned, combat activities are concerned. I can still do those things, and I don't suffer from a lot of the things that most people who deal with the condition that I have will suffer from. So, and all of that comes about from my eating habits and, how I take care of my body. And the one big regret, and it's not necessarily regret, it's kind of like, how can I say it? I cannot remember the term. It's like the gift and the curse. That's what I'm looking for. The curse is I came down with the illness. The gift is that it got me back into studying science and studying science from a holistic point of view, to the point where if I would have known this information before, I came down with this illness, chances are probably wouldn't have never, got this illness. My whole thing now is, I'm a comic book geek. I love comic books. I haven't bought any in a while, but I love the way that Marvel and DC are bringing all of these animated stories, to the big screen. And one of my favorite characters has always been Wolverine. Not just because he was just a badass, but because of his unique healing abilities. And to me, his abilities were more in tune to reality than all of the other characters. And that's the way I've always wanted to try to, get my system, even before I came down with this illness. But, back then, I wasn't really into science, wasn't really studying it the way that I study it now. But if I'm ever able to get my body back to 100%, that is the goal that I am trying to achieve. I want my system, I want my immune system to be, if not identical to Wolverine's, damn near close to it. And when I was growing up as a kid, I would go as far as to say that it was pretty much like that. Not in the sense of if I get shot or get cut, my shit is healing up, like instantly, but just to the point where I didn't get sick like that. I very rarely had the common cold, and if I did, it probably lasted maybe about 24 hours and I was good. But anyway, let's continue. Now we're going to get into oxygen support, and this is where Hemp Hearts are good as far as probably keeping you alive or keeping your body to the point, as far as health wise, keeping it to the point where you can survive this shit until either the virus passes or you get a chance to get medical help, and they can do whatever it is that they need to do for you to, keep you on this planet. So the fatty acids in hemp seeds support the transportation of oxygen to cells throughout the body. And since we're talking about oxygen, this is one of the main components with this virus that it attacks, which is your respiratory system. It stops your body, one, for putting oxygen into the bloodstream, and two, it stops you from getting rid of the harmful gas that you need to exhale, which is the carbon dioxide. So in turn, by the body producing more mucus, this mucus is designed to help you expel any of the bacteria or viruses or any substances that may be in your body that your body is trying to get rid of. But the problem is you end up producing overabundance of mucus to the point where it's like it's trapped. So one, you're suffocating and you're drowning at the same time, because now you can't breathe and you can't expel the mucus that is building up in your body that is designed to help you get that shit out. But because you can't get it out for whatever reason, you end up succumbing to the illness or to the virus based off of the things that this virus does. So again, Hemp Hearts is going to be good as far as helping you to fight this virus, and it might even stop you from getting the virus in the first place. And I'm going to get into why that may be. So the presence of oxygen in cell membranes helps to block viruses, fungi, and bacteria. Now, I've been taught that nothing as far as viruses and bacteria, and I think that even goes as far as some cancers, or maybe all cancers are concerned, that anything of that nature cannot survive in a highly oxygenated environment. That is not an environment that is conducive to the survival of a bacteria, of a virus, or fungi. And Dr. Sebi talked about these things. Dr. Laila Africa, may he rest in peace. May both of those brothers rest in peace, because they gave us valuable information. A lot of people talk about Dr. Sebi, and they should, but you don't have a lot of people that are talking about Dr. Laila Africa. Even in his passing, you don't hear a lot of people repping Dr. Laila Africa the way that they rep Dr. Sebi. But I will go as far as to say that both of these brothers were side by side. They gave valuable information. Maybe some of the things that they talked about were, slightly different, but for the most part, these brothers, they were on point. And one of the things that they talked about is that you have to eat foods that are electrical. You have to eat foods that are designed to bring that charge up. You have to eat foods that are designed to help your body stay highly oxygenated. And that's why they always pushed a plant-based diet. So this is the reason why you want to include Hemp Hearts within your diet, because of, if not just for the many different things that it does, just for this one thing alone, as far as, keeping your cells highly oxygenated. Because once you begin to lose charge, once that electricity that is in the body begins to go from here to here to here to here, that represents death. That represents cell death. And since we know that the body is made out of billions and billions of cells, then as those cells begin to lose their charge, then those systems will begin to decline to the point where they will not work properly. And then it will get to the point where those systems will fail you altogether. And that represents death. So that is the reason why we don't want to consume animal products. That is the reason why I and others like myself do not push or advocate the eating of any animals, because that is death. According to science, there is nothing that is dead that can sustain life or even create life. Only life begets life. So with that being said, and with that being the foundation for biology as it pertains to animals, as it pertains to the human being, as it pertains to different types of species that are alive, this is the theme that we need to roll off of. We need to look at it from that perspective, because life only begets life. There is nothing that is dead that can sustain life or produce life. And when you kill an animal, whatever life, whatever energy was in that animal before you killed it is now gone after you killed that animal. So why would you eat it? Are there going to be things that you can get from the animal? Of course, because there are going to be elements that are still within the blood, still within the tissue. But those things are not designed to give you longevity. Plants, whether you're dealing with fruits, vegetables, grains, they're still alive after you dig them up out of the ground, after you pluck them off trees, after you pluck them or pick them off of bushes. No matter what the case is, it takes a while, or, a couple of days before, this vegetation dies. And then some even last longer than a couple of days. So again, when you're eating a plant-based diet versus a diet that is devoid of electricity, that is devoid of life, then you're going to run into problems later on down the line. So this is the reason why I do not advocate or push the eating of animal products. I am a vegan. I've been a vegan now for 11 years, and I am still learning how to do this thing. And the goal is, I don't ever want to reach a plateau, because I always want to constantly learn. I am a student first, and I am a teacher whenever the opportunity presents itself. But other than that, I am always a student. I am always trying to learn. And just like with those of you who may be looking at my videos, if you find where I am in error with anything, hit me up in the comment section, because I want to be as close to being factual and truthful as I can. And if there are any discrepancies in anything that I have said, I don't have the big head to the point where, I can give information and I can criticize, but I can't take criticism. And I don't want to hear anyone else's, viewpoints or factual information or truth as far as, I am concerned. I am not that type of individual. So my goal is to learn. And if you see where I am in error, please correct me on that. And I'm going to go and do the research. And if I find that I am in error, then I will publicly correct that on my page. So now we're coming to the end of my discussion as far as hemp hearts are concerned. So what we're going to get into now is the additional information, and then we're going to close out. So hemp hearts contain more amino acids, meaning protein, than milk, meat, or eggs. Contains more omega-3 essential fat than any fish. It is a complete protein source, more balanced and digestible than soy or soy products. Contains about 49% oil, 86% of which is omega-3, 6, and 9. Contains all the essential amino acids and omega fats required for human health. Now, according to the information that I found, it states that 5 tablespoons, which would be the equivalent of 55 grams, as far as protein is concerned, it contains 20 grams. Omega-6 would be 14.9 grams. Omega-3 would be 4.7 grams. Omega-9 would be 3.5 grams. Saturated fats, 2.7 grams. Carbohydrates, 5.9 grams. And fiber would be 3.3 grams. So again, it is a complete food. Something that you want to add to your regimen as far as keeping you healthy. So that's pretty much all I have to say, fam. I hope I didn't bore you guys. And what I'm doing now, this is actually restarting the series that I was doing called True Facts. So this is another video that is under that series called True Facts. I hope you guys take this information, use it to your benefit. I hope it does wonders for your temple. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. I'm at work, but I'm off. My time is up. So, I haven't violated anything as far as, doing this job on my other job. So other than that, I'm going to close out. You guys stay healthy, stay safe, stay alive. I'm going to try to do the same. Hopefully we will be past this so-called pandemic within the next couple of weeks. I hope. Hopefully things will turn back to some sort of normalcy. I don't think it will ever be normal ever again, not unless they can eradicate, this particular virus, just wipe it off the map. But I don't think that's going to happen. So that's why I'm telling you guys, stay safe and stay alive. And y'all know how I do. I salute you. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Free the land. Black power to black people. I love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. And I'm going to always fight for my people. I'm going to always try to give you information that is going to be beneficial to us as a people, that will help us go from here to here. And on that note, like I said, peace and blessings, fam. And until the next time, y'all stay safe.